Welcome to another episode of Game Boy Roulette, where we take a look at randomly chosen games from the Game Boy library. Rampage World Tour. Wow, they can fit a whole world tour on the Game Boy now. That's incredible. The original Rampage was released in arcades in 1986 by Bally Midway, who would go on to develop and publish games like Mortal Kombat, Spy Hunter, and the Cruisin' series. It was essentially a monster simulator. Become a giant ape, giant wolf, or giant lizard, and destroy a city. It went on to get a sequel, Rampage World Tour, which hit arcades in 1997 and later got ported to the good old Game Boy. I actually always liked playing Rampage. There's something just satisfying about the goal of the game being destroy everything. It's cathartic in a Godzilla-y kind of way. Hopefully that translates well on the Game Boy. The cover is the same between all systems it was ported to, displaying George, Ralph, and Lizzie looking a hell of a lot taller than they are in the actual game. Oh, incidentally, this was one of those games that was released for the Game Boy Color, but was backwards compatible. Alrighty, let's get rampaging and see how this game does on the Game Boy. Rampage World Tour trademark. Midway. Digital Eclipse software. Rampage World Tour. Sound? Music? Anything? Hello? Oh, there we go. We found it. Let's go. Ah, this brings me back. I loved this in the arcades. George, Lizzie, and Ralph. Let's go with Ralph. While it's true there have been no serious side effects reported so far, I think we need to stop production before... Oh, no! If only they had stopped production just then. Let's go. Well, it's Rampage. Wow, it also animates quite well. I should mention the version I'm playing on is technically the Game Boy Color one, but running on the Game Boy. So it might look actually a little better here than it does in real life, but this still, you know, this looks nice. Animates very well. Hiya! Controls pretty well too, honestly. Oh. Oh yeah, don't grab that, you grab this. Maybe. Farewell. That's the trampoline building. Oh, get off it! So this is, so far, actually quite good for a Game Boy port of a huge arcade game. So far, this is actually pretty good for a Game Boy port of an arcade game. It moves really well, it animates pretty well, too. A lot of these ports did not go well, but this one seems to be going just... Oh, hi. Does she just have one giant boob? If it looks good, eat it. Well, if you insist. A lot of these games, when they make the translation from whatever to Game Boy, they just don't animate that well, but this one actually animates... Oh god. Extremely well, which is very impressive. God, especially for the time. Then again, it came out, I believe, in... I want to say 98? So it was a pretty late release. Music is kind of generic, though. Very repetitive. It looks good. Eat it. Isn't that everything? Yep. I can't tell what your chest is, lady. It does not make any sense. What the... Okay, I honestly don't remember this from the arcade version, but it's been a while. Gradius is different than I remember. When traveling abroad, be sure to sample the local flavor. Okay, I know it says that I'm in a different place, but that is one thing that we're going to lose in the Game Boy version. It looks identical. So unfortunately, we are losing some stuff in the translation, and that is a lot of the colorful charm the original game had. And obviously you weren't going to be able to get that on the Game Boy, but I don't know, I kind of wish there was at least some sort of background. The thing about Rampage is that it was always very repetitive, but it was so fun to look at and play that I could forgive it. And while this is definitely capturing the feel of Rampage, Unfortunately, it also loses a lot of what made the game so much fun, which is the visual design. It animates good, but you can tell it's pretty, I don't know, bland. Look at the background, look at the roads. Obviously, they're working with Game Boy, or Game Boy Color, whatever, but... Well, no, Game Boy, because this was one of the Game Boy Color games that was backwards compatible. That's why you're seeing it like this right now, instead of the, full range of colors. Punch. Oh, God! Excuse me, I'm just trying to... Oh. Thank God they left those giant fries in here. Ugh. Hiya! Yoink. Can I? Oh. Who are you? And where are you? Broaden your horizons. Eat interesting people. Okay. I hope that guy was interesting. You have a lot of dynamite. You seem interesting. So there's parts of this I'm really liking. I think it animates pretty well. And I think it is capturing the feel of Rampage. But on the other hand, it's also losing a lot of what made Rampage so much fun. With some games going from arcade to console, you can keep that feel, but I don't know if they can pull it off. They're pulling it off with this one. Not that it's a bad experience, it's just sort of repetitive and kind of bland to look at. Like, the character does animate well, but, again, you know, there's not much to look at. Uh-oh. Fully naked. Continue. Well, I'm over that. Oh, sushi roll! No. The explosion sprites are really good, though. Quality explosions. Punch, 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 punch. Oh, too tall. People keep a lot of large radishes in their apartments. Get down. I think that's everything. Yep. Frequent flyer points? What? Oh, hey, it's the same. Except now there's a weird grinding noise. What? Hi? I forgot about you. Hello. So, at the end of the day, it's alright. Got some stuff I really like about it, but some stuff I really don't like about it. A perfectly average port. Still probably leaning on the side of I do recommend it, but I'd probably recommend the other versions sooner. I'd say that qualifies more as a national Rampage than a real World Tour. Rampage was always held up by the fun art design, the color, and the overall tone of the game. And when you make that translation to the Game Boy, it's almost required that you lose some of that stuff. That said, I was really impressed by how well the actual gameplay held up. All the fun of Rampage World Tour was still here, with the destruction, the platforming, even the animation looked really smooth. But as I said during the review, the translation forced them to get rid of what made a lot of the game so charming to begin with. And in a game like Rampage that can already get kinda repetitive, it makes it all the worse. For the record, this is what the game looks like running on the Game Boy Color. Certainly a step in the right direction, but not by a whole lot. So the game isn't great, but it isn't terrible either. What it is pretty average. If you're willing to look past the bland colors and repetitive nature of the game, I think there's enough fun gameplay to really get some enjoyment out of this one. Still though, I would like an answer to what was going on with that woman's anatomy. That just doesn't look right, man. And that's all for another episode of Game Boy Roulette. Tune in again as we continue digging through the Game Boy Vault. I'm Brian J, and I will see you next time.